don't think learning an instrument's that hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you're going to be a songwriter, it's like, to me, it feels like a no-brainer thing to invest your time into.
Sure.
And again, you don't have to be the best guitarist, the best piano player, but just being able to play some chord progressions is huge.
Yes.
And release yourself from the thought that just because you wrote it, you have to be the one to record it.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot of people that know enough on piano to write a song, but they shouldn't be the one actually recording it on their record. And the people that have a lot of success are the ones that understand that. And they're like, oh, well, like so-and-so plays piano really well. I'll give him the chords, but I'm going to let him do the rest with it because it'll sound better.
For sure. Yes. Giving up because the demo Odyssey piece,
yes,
that is a drawback to being able to play an instrument, is that you've gotten used to playing a song a specific way.
Yep.
And it's likely that if you're not as proficient, that you just resulted to playing chords that you knew how to play, but maybe weren't the chords that most reflect the excellence of the songwriting itself.
Yeah.
And so that's when it's really good to pass it off. And, you know, it may very well be that the simple chords that you played are integral to the song itself. And when it gets to me, the producer, we'll work with that.
Yeah.
But
usually it needs some color.
Yes.
I think a great example is like you recently just did a whole album for Hannah Jane.
Yes.
And in that album, like she sent you voice memos where she's playing piano, but like she just wanted you to play piano.
Yes.
Like, hey, Campbell, like here's my idea, but like take it another step forward if you can.
Yes. Yeah. No, for sure.
But anyways, I want to start with that. It's a low, what we're saying is a low bar.
Yeah.
Like just to be able to play some things and get an idea. And then how much benefit that gives you is huge when you're actually writing and coming up, like putting your ideas down on a voice memo.
For sure. So what instrument should they learn, David? And why?
Yeah. I think my answer will be different than what you would think. Okay. I think you're going to assume I would say guitar.
No, I mean, I don't know. Honestly,
you know? Yeah.
I leveled playing field here, man.
Yeah. Okay. There are benefits to playing different instruments. Like there's pros and cons.
Yeah.
And I want to share about those. But my initial gut is you should learn piano.
Okay.
I think it's pretty affordable.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's very easy physically to play. So what I mean by that is like when you
hurt my feelings, David.
No. What I'm saying is when you play guitar, you have to develop calluses, and it's kind of painful.
Yes.
And it takes more muscle to push down the string than it does to strike a key on piano.
Yeah.
That's why like kids, it's really easy for them to start on piano. It's not as physically demanding.
Yeah.
Now, I still think people should learn to play guitar. So this is not me saying like, don't do it because it's hard.
Yes.
I also think piano is laid out left to right, whereas guitar is not. So what I mean by that is like the more left you go on a piano, the lower the notes are. To the right, the higher. It's linear. If you're one key to the right, you're one half step higher.
Yeah.
Guitar is not that way because there's strings that go down and it goes left to right.
Yeah.
So you could be in a place where you're more right on the neck, but you're at a lower, higher note.
Yeah.
So it's harder to visualize in guitar. So because of those reasons, I think keys is like just really basic, easy for people just to get the bare minimum, not to be extremely proficient at, but it's a great instrument to start with.
For sure. I think I have a lot of friends that play a lot, like pretty much all the rhythm section instruments.
Yeah.
Bass, drums, keys, guitar.
Yep.
And a lot of them say if you can learn piano first, then you can learn anything.
Yeah.
Not necessarily because it's harder, but because, like you said, it's
just
linear.
Laid out. Yeah.
And so to be able to visually, like, I learned piano first, and then I learned bass. To be able to visually, and then like see that on a piano, and then when I'm practicing it on bass, even though I'm going up and down 4 different strings, I know what I'm playing and I can visualize it based on the piano as well.
Yeah.
If you ever did want to learn other instruments.
Yeah. Now I started on guitar.
Yeah.
And I still transitioned to being able to play all the rhythm
it's
section
not
instruments.
impossible.
It's not impossible.
Yeah.
But you know, when you go to college, if you study music, usually people use a piano to visualize music theory. It's like the base of like, hey, here's how these notes work together. They show you on a piano.
Yes.
So that's where a lot of times like people play other instruments when they get into music theory, they start to take more serious interest in piano. So yeah, I think piano is great to learn. Now, I also think maybe another question that they should ask if you're like, what instrument should I play? What type of music are you trying to write?
Just thinking about.
That's a good question to ask.
Yeah.
If you want to write like folk music, maybe guitar is a better choice than piano. So I think that's just a part of the equation as well.